My name is Kai Peters. I am the founder and CEO of HIP Interactive Property. And today, I have the pleasure of an interview with Jon Matonis, who is the chairman of Globitex, the former chief executive of the Bitcoin Foundation, more recently senior advisor at N-Chain, and of course, HIP's own special crypto advisor for the work that we're doing. So I'd just like to welcome Jon.
One of my favorite gigs here. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Good. So Jon, what is initial coin offering in simple terms?
Well, most people will know it as ICO, the acronym, and it stands for Initial Coin Offering, which is an unfortunate acronym because it is very similar to IPO, which is Initial Public Offering. Mm-hmm. And they don't have that much in common.
They don't have anything in common.
Except the acronym almost. Uh-huh. An ICO can be a security, and it can resemble an IPO, but then you're basically taking it through the same registration process and the same licensing process as you would for a public offering of securities.
That's right.
What an ICO captures, though, is it allows the issuing entity the ability to issue scarce tokens that are used in some way, in various ways, for use on a platform or the company's offering. Yeah. They're able to do this by the use of the ERC20 sub-protocol with Ethereum, mm-hmm. which has actually been recently in the last year and a half, the killer app for Ethereum. And they're able to create scarcity. So by virtue of that, they become tradable. And they're tradable on exchanges, they're tradable in peer-to-peer nature. Yep. They operate as bearer shares. So if you remember back in the old days, I know you go back that far.
I try not to.
Where you could actually obtain bearer shares, and you could trade company shares this way. You know, those have been mostly eradicated, but with ICOs, they're starting to come back.
Yeah, no, it's great. And you know, going back on that, that opening gambit there, initial coin offering. The latest termination being a token generation event. And, when we're talking about shares and tokens, I think it's quite important for people to understand that a token generation event is not a share. Right. And it is a vehicle in which, people are to raise significant funds to increase the value of that token offerings through use.
It may even be able to be administered through a foundation where the token itself could have a life after the issuing entity. Yeah. And in a true protocol token, that's how it would work.
Yeah. No, it's great. And how do you feel about the space?
I'm 150% behind the space. I think it represents true, pure, unlicensed capitalism, and the markets and the jurisdictions that adopt it the fastest will see the most freedom for their citizens. They'll see the most economic growth, and the countries that prevent it and try to steer away from it, they're only hurting their own citizens, not hurting the rest of the world, because the rest of the world's moving forward.
Absolutely. And this recycle of wealth scenario, the money in this ecosystem is not about greed. It's about people trying to actually do things and do things on scale. Do things elaborately, do things generously. And the mentality of this, I don't know if you found in the time you've been in the space, people aren't trying. It's not self-gain. It's a recycling of wealth. It's the growth of human, purpose almost.
Well, I'm not going to say it's all that, because there is
we like to pay our way, right?
There is an element of the self-greed in there, but we are witnessing the auxiliary benefits of the wealth transfer effect into the crypto economy. Yeah. So you had the wealth transfer effect, and that's still ongoing into crypto economy, but now it's the recycling into other ventures. Yeah. And that's the side benefit that we're seeing. Yeah,
and it's incredible. And the scale and the pace, you would have been around the internet in 1999, 2000. And, there was growth and pace then. I was witnessing that. Right. But here, this new genre, this new evolution of technology and capability is seeing, the barriers are even less. The right mindsets can get involved. As long as you spend enough time learning it is what you're doing, you can become a real active participant. Generating, taking little ideas into huge spaces in a short period of time. There's never been a period of time like this.
Absolutely. Some people are saying that what we're witnessing now is the wealth transfer effect to the millennials, and who are going to sell it off to the baby boom generation after it's $100,000 a coin. Yeah. And that could be possible. But imagine if you could have invested back then, like you're saying in the internet times, early internet days, if you could invest in HTTP. There was no way to directly invest in HTTP, but with things like Bitcoin and things like Ethereum, we're only talking about a protocol. Yeah. So it's the same type of investment, but you're able to invest in an entire sector by investing in the coin.
The millennial, issue is a problem that HIP is, one of the problems that HIP is desperately trying to solve. Yep. Because in terms of property, and in terms of access to property wealth, and access to a home, for the millennials to actually get a home, you more often than not, you can't do it on your own anymore. You need your family, you need the financial support of somebody else. You need a really good job, well paid if you want to buy something on your own, particularly here in London. And the HIP is there using this technology, which is about helping these younger people, to help these younger people buy the home that they can they can afford.
Well, it's new finance, because the millennials don't go into a bank. I don't think I've ever seen one in a bank.
No, they probably don't have much money to go into a bank either.
So there's a difference, though, I wanted to highlight between a coin and a token.
Yeah.
Because with all of these ICOs that are happening, you have different ways to invest in them. ICOs will accept Bitcoin, they'll accept Bitcoin Cash, they'll accept Ethereum, Litecoin. There's many tokens that they can accept in exchange for their own token, because those top 4 or 5 represent liquid money, cryptographic money. And their purpose is, in most cases, to be used as money. You can even accept fiat as an ICO. Now, you have to differentiate those from the crypto tokens themselves. And it's confusing for a lot of people because they're all traded sometimes on the same exchange.
Correct.
You'll have these mega exchanges that trade 200, 300 different token pairs, but there's really only a small handful that are actually qualifying as cryptographic money.
Correct.
The rest are either company tokens, like similar to penny stocks, or protocol utility tokens, and they will probably not be used as widespread money. But they'll still be investable, and they'll still be an asset class.
They represent value in a sort of a private. I like to look at them as mini economies or mini countries that are being launched.
Yeah.
The company has an economy, and that economy is going to grow, and the value of that token is directly related to that economy.
And without a jurisdictional boundary.
Correct. Whereas the currencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, they literally are like the dollar without well, they're not even like that, are they? Because they're not they're of no governance.
But they are competing with central bank currencies, so they do qualify in that respect.
They do in that respect, yeah. But they're not. They're governed by the people, which is a beautiful thing about it. But mainly the coders, which is why we keep getting these forks. But so if you can't code, you don't have any control over the system.